I love you, but be so for real. J. Cole bowing out of the rap beef with Kendrick Lamar, automatically disqualifies him from the greatest rapper conversation. It's over with. He can make really anything, and I still wouldn't add him in the conversation. Today, I have a very special guest, Jerrelle. He is an LA-born artist, grew up surrounded by image, ambition, and temptation. His music explores the tension between real connection and performative love. He understands the cost of attention and chooses depth over display. Royal welcome. I feel like we're in LA, so we got to do like the poetry snaps, you know?
Is that how it goes?
Yeah, like when you go to those like artsy fartsy places,
Artsy.
you go like, you know? You guys didn't have like poetry slams and shit?
I mean, I'm sure they have poetry slams everywhere. I've seen a few in my day. Yeah, there've been some snaps going around here and there.
Right. I'm like, I feel like that's the like, it gives me Erica Badu. I know she's not LA, but it just gives me like that vibe of like,
Soulful.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
Yeah, like incense. Was she the one who did the incense with
Well, it was a candle, I
her
believe.
hoo-ha?
Yeah.
No, it was incense.
Maybe it was both.
It was not, oh. You know what? she sold those things. People were buying them.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
mean,
love that for her.
you could put three stacks in a skirt and you could do anything. I don't know.
So, I have to ask you as an artist yourself.
Talk to me.
I mean, are you a rapper? Are you a singer? What are you?
I'm an artist, and whatever that means, given the day and the subject, is what it ends up being.
Can you rap?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Maybe I'll make you do a freestyle.
Whatever.
Yeah, you know, at the end we gotta see how much time we have left. So you get your freestyle thoughts ready now.
I'm ready right now.
So I want to know, do you think that hip hop is dead?
No, I don't think any genre ever dies. I think that its space in the limelight might change. Like, rock's not where it used to be in terms of rock stars and the popularity of the genre itself. But like, rock is very much still alive, and if you look in the right places, you'll find what you need to.
Okay, so where has it gone? If it's not dead, where did it reinvent itself into?
It's more like hip hop, popular media in music has cycles, and different spaces uh, incubate that space according to like whatever's going on at the time. So if right now hip hop is dying because generally speaking, media is dying. We don't have the same type of journalists that we used to. We don't have the same type of magazines and covers of different things. Like back in the day, you could pick up a magazine, you might discover something about a new artist or something like that. Like we don't really have that same capacity anymore. It's so flooded that it becomes hard for people to do the work. And also, it takes a lot less work to listen to artists than they used to. Like back in the day, I sound old, but we used to have to illegally download things onto our iPods, and we used to have to illegally, figure out how you was going to listen to everything all together because of how music was packaged. And even before that, they had physical cassettes and discs and so on and so forth. So yeah,
How old are you? You said you sound old.
I am 19.
I don't think a 19-year-old would have had like cassettes and
I'm an old soul. My mom, she had everything, so I learned everything.
she's also from LA.
No, she's from San Francisco, but she moved to LA. I was born and raised in LA, but she's not from LA.
Got it. Okay. So then going to our conversation about J. Cole,
Talk to her.
do you agree with what I said in that he can't be considered one of the greatest rappers of all time if he fucking, oh, I'm not supposed to say that word, if he bowed out of the beefs?
You can't be the king and you're afraid to fight for the throne. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, anyone who tries to say rap isn't a competitive sport or you don't have to compete also probably never listened to a mixtape and don't like you never listened to the drought by Lil Wayne. You didn't hear what No Ceilings really was. You didn't go through all those phases. A lot of them probably don't even know. Speaking of J. Cole, don't know about Truly Yours or Truly Yours 2 or that whole mixtape series of himself and all the things he did back then. Like, they don't know about Louis Vuitton and the story he told the girl with the tattoo on her back and all. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say most people who say that are not studied in hip hop and aren't really even true hip hop fans. They just like popular rap songs, which is fine. But again, hip hop was made off like if we didn't get No Vaseline, Ice Cube's career looks very different. You know what I mean? Like Ice Cube was the original 20v1 and he was the aggressor. You know what I mean? Like that's part of hip hop is being able to like defend the throne, go for something, do what you got to do. So, the fact that J. Cole didn't have that in him and people are like, "Oh, he chose peace." Well, I don't know that he did because he could have peacefully had his little competitive battle while they was doing whatever they was doing. Like he could have stood ground to say like, "Listen, y'all do what y'all doing, but I'm still when it comes to this on paper with rap him." And he didn't do it.
Yeah, and my thing with that too is it's not only that he didn't like make some diss songs, it's that he like went on a stage for his own platform and was like, I'm not going to participate in this. I love Kendrick Lamar. That like if he would have just kind of not responded, I feel like he may have gotten away with it,
I
right?
agree. He should have if he wasn't gonna respond, he should just never say nothing. But
But
the,
yeah.
the way to do it is he should have said Kendrick the same way Kendrick came out and said, I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas on Control way back. It's the way J. Cole should have came right now and said, I got love for you, Kendrick. But if it comes to what we put on wax,
If you put me in it,
like
out into the ring.
and again, he didn't even have to take it personal. J. Cole could have done exactly what he does with rap and made it very much so just a rap thing and made Kendrick make a choice in terms of how he was going to handle everybody. And that it could have been left at that. Because not for nothing, Kendrick even in one of his songs said that he wanted to keep it rap with Drake. One of the
Mm-hmm.
that we could keep this rap. But I don't know. I feel like everybody's just giving Cole the way out. Like, nah, you can't be the king and claim that you the king. Say all this stuff about the big three and this, that, and the third, and you're not willing to actually put your shit up like that. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, that's the thing. You not no big three if you can't battle, right? Like, I guess, like, your whole point is some people say it's not a sport, but then, like, but what sport do they not have to battle to be the best?
Yeah, and then like any of the other greats that you talk about put themselves up there with what they did against other artists. Like you talk about Jay-Z, you talk about Nas, you talk about Tupac, Biggie. You talk about all the people who they name up there, Eminem, 50 Cent. Like these are people who were known like don't try them. You know what I mean? And they got there for a reason.
Even Mariah Carey has diss tracks
And even Kanye,
as a singer.
was like willing to step right up to 50. Now that was a little bit more promoted, but he had no qualms about going toe to toe with 50 back trying to compete with him then when they did that. So it's just like you can't be afraid of any type of like conflict and claim that you're the king of rap.
Yeah, I don't know. He kind of messed up with that because it's kind of like giving BITCH.
I'll tell you what, I just don't want to hear him talking no great as this, great as that stuff on this album that he about to put out. His album better be all peace, prosperity, and I grow my own food in my backyard and that's what I need to hear him talk about. He don't need to talk about nothing about I'm this in rap and I'm that in rap. You are a rapper. Just let's leave it there.
Speaking of beefies, the women been carrying the rap beefs outside of that big one with Drake and Kendrick. I feel like the women, they will go at each other, no problem,
Yeah.
no issue, no backing down. I feel like we're in an era, like not just in hip hop but in life, where it's like women are like, y'all some cooter cats. We about to take over because y'all are some cooter cats. We about to get this shit popping. I feel like that's what's happening in life, and hip hop is a reflection of the times. Music is a reflection of the times, and the fact that women are the ones who are like not scared to start a beef. It don't matter who you are. Even like no, most people don't know Bia outside of that one song, but she wasn't scared to step to Cardi B. She still stepped to Cardi B. She got smoked, but she still did it. And I feel like that's like you do get a little bit of points for participation.
Even on like a smaller scale, it was like Georgiana was going back and forth with that girl that used to be underneath Yachty.
Caribou.
Yeah, her and Caribou was going at it, and like it's just it's been in the air. Lotto was going at it with Coi Leray at one point, and then she was going at it with somebody like
Nikki.
yeah, Nikki. Like they all been getting into it. So it's like, listen, I love women. They doing their thing. I'm all about the women taking over and running. That's what it needs to be.
Now, where do we draw the line? Like, let's talk about Nicki Minaj, right? Where do we draw the line? Because I think we both agree, like, part of hip hop is defending your throne and you can have beefs and all that. But Nicki, in my opinion, now she just picking fights for nothing. Like, it's like she done a little bit too much of the cocaine and it's hit a couple brain lobes, burnt them out, and done a couple things. What are your thoughts?
Well, the problem is Nicki be making it. She don't come at it like it's rap. She come at it personal, and the problem is the beef starts off with tweets and things like that, and it's just like I would rather you have put it on wax to begin with, so it could really be if that is what you're gonna do, put it on wax and make it competitive from the jump. But like when it's coming from a place of like you were saying all this on Twitter and now they're coming back at you, and it's just like, what are we doing? Like that the king and the queen don't come down from their throne to like exchange messages with
On Twitter.
yeah, like it's like if you really are the top of the top at that time, people are already gunning for you. You don't come off your throne to like engage in a conversation when you're supposed to be rapping, So like, she definitely got some things going on though. All prayers up for Nicki.
I was gonna say, pray for Nicki.
Yeah, like whatever she got going on, I hope that she.
Now, yeah. Turning Point USA, Nicki Minaj performing for Miss Erica Kirk and her followers. Do you think that I'm going to say how I feel, and then you can respond. I feel that a core part of hip hop is defending freedom, defending democracy, human rights, the rights of those who are less fortunate. So for Miss Nicki Minaj to get on Turning Point USA, that in my opinion is not defending for the rights of the less fortunate and is just there to protect those who already have, is not a representation of what real hip hop is. And I feel like when you try to be like, especially like her, how she's like, I'm at the top, I don't think it's right for you to be like, you're at the top of this hip hop movement, hip hop culture, and then be on Turning Point USA.
It's not in terms of like, to your point, hip hop and rock too, not for nothing. Like, they were genres that were built on rebellion at a certain point. Like, even if they weren't in their roots stem from that, like the first ever rock and hip hop songs were rebellious, they ended up taking on the, like voices of nations behind them. And the people who didn't have voices could speak through these genres. For her to be a representative of this entire genre of hip hop, especially for black women, and kind of, align herself with certain figures is monumental. Like because you have a certain amount of influence and you have a certain amount of weight that you carry in the culture. So for her to move how she did is telling. But again, like, I don't know what her situation is, because like maybe financially that was something that we don't know what was happening behind closed doors and what deals have already been made. She might be fulfilling contracts that like now that's what she has to do. Like I don't know where she's at in her career to where like this is what she has to do versus this is what she wants to do.
So you said like behind closed doors contracts, she might have to do that. Speak more on that. Like what's that about?
I mean, it's a lot like a political campaign, right? Like, not everything is just what's publicly now some of it is like, comes down to the relationships you've built behind closed doors, and you kind of doing like a you scratch my back, I scratch yours type situation. I don't know if, for lack of a better term, like maybe even her husband had situations tied to him, and for her to be able to like keep him, clean, she had to take on some type of, all types
Mm,
of ways that she could have been, you know, um, contracted, for lack of a better term, to, for her own benefit. And everything, it's the law of equivalent exchange. To give, you got to get. Everything you get comes with something you got to give of yourself, of what you have, of what you want to do, of your reputation. Like, you got to be willing to trade something. And
so it's kind of like the Illuminati's a little bit.
uh, you could say that, I guess, if that's, I'm sure that's one element of it. You know.
Because like with the Illuminati, it's like you gotta sell your soul. You gotta part of selling your soul is like, okay, you may have had these ethics and morals before, and now you don't have those no more.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When people say they're selling their soul, that's really what they're talking about. Because like, it comes down to like, your soul is really like your morality and willingness here on earth. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like giving away that will is really like the selling of your soul. It's like, all right, if in any situation someone can say, all right, no, you're not going to do this, you're going to do this. It's like a trade off. You know what I mean? So that's really what that is.
So, but you know how they be like, oh yeah.
Shout out to the Bohemian Grove and all that.
So when you, she gonna cut this out. Somebody at the door. Okay. I knew there was probably like one last bark there. There might still be one more. Maybe not though. Are we good? Are we good?
Look like it.
All right. Mwah. So, we were talking about what? Selling your soul. You know how people say that Jay-Z got his cousin killed in a car accident for the Illuminati's? That's the type of stuff you mean when people be like, oh, they sacrifice something?
I mean, everybody's give is different. I mean, something has to have value to be worth trading. So I don't think all the time when people are like, oh, this person died and this person died. Sometimes it's not even about a trade. Sometimes it's about like, if you have a really, really stable force in your life that might, guide you in certain directions. But
Ooh, like an abusive relationship where they be taking people out your life
yeah, that's
so they could control you.
yeah, that's a way to look at it. Yeah. So it's like, if I need you to look, think, and act certain ways, then there's certain people that probably are better off not around. So the trade off is, all right, these people don't need to be here because we need to be able to do X, Y, and Z. Like, what are you willing to, kind of, give up in that sense? And some of that isn't really your decision to make. Some of it is chosen for you.
Now, we gonna get back to that when we talk about relationships, because I do want to ask you about what is dating like, being an artist, being somebody who has to like show themselves a lot on social media, interact with people, make the little girls have crushes and stuff. Like, I do want to know about how dating is like that. But let's talk about like the whole like streaming era.
Let's do it.
Do you think that streaming has helped or hurt artists more?
I think streaming, streaming just is. It ain't like a negative or positive, and I say it because like, in some ways it's hurt artists in terms of like, physical sales of CDs and records isn't a thing anymore. So like, you can't put numbers up and have like hard sales like your CD costs $3.99 or your CD costs $9.99 or something. That's a hard number that we now can define. All right, the artist is going to get out of that $2. All right, so if I sell 200, then I just made $400 for the artist. Like it's easier to do that math. With streaming, it's like, well, how much is a stream worth? You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same as the physical media copies we had of music. So it can hurt in that extent, but we never had it to where like you could distribute music like you can now with streaming. Like, you know, like I could put out something today, and then within a week, it's all across the world, and someone in uh, Russia can play a song that I created, and I can have exposure. You know, so like it depends on what end you want to look at it. Streaming has definitely negatively impacted people's attention spans, and I think fans now don't do the correct work to listen to music.
I agree. And I feel like it doesn't take that much work to hear a bunch of different music, but then at the same time, it takes a bunch of work to hear things that's not being promoted.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I still feel like a positive versus a like if this is a positive and negative, like people who are really into music, you can kind of get that high from finding some stuff that not everybody found because it wasn't being pushed.
I
So,
I also feel like I'm gonna be honest. I feel like there was work that came with at one point in life with listening to music. Like whether you had to download it legally, or you go far back enough that you had to buy the CD, or you go farther back and you had to get the record to put on a record player, or you after that even had to get a cassette before CDs or whatever thing like that. Like there was some type of work you had to do to listen to something, and there was a finite amount of music you could listen to, right? Because you couldn't just scroll on your phone and play something else. You had to like individual thing now in. I'm listening to just that. And even when you were like illegally downloading stuff to stream, you had to like illegally like get it, and because you had to buy the album like per whatever it costs. Like the album cost $12.99. You had to pay $12.99 to listen to the album. Period. There was no streaming. You know, like
mhm.
so I feel like a lot of listeners they lazy now. Like they don't, and they also don't appreciate the work that came with listening to that degree. Like it was something for there was something about like when you was waiting all day to hear a certain project, and you had to like go and do work to download it, and then take this off your iPod because your iPod damn there's space, so you had to take something else off to put another thing on, to listen to it. And it's like then you get it and you gotta listen to the full album because you're not gonna just like get it pieced through and go like you have to listen to the whole thing because you just made space for this project. You know what I mean? So like I don't know. I feel like a lot of our entire generation is lazy, um, and that is another extension of it. Is like we don't get to do the work when it comes to music, and it shows in what we choose to like and don't
And
like.
it's like not going to feel as rewarding once you listen to it cuz it's like something about when you make a home cooked meal
Exactly.
and it's like so good and you made it. Like it's something about it hits different
Exactly.
than when you ordered it. I don't know.
Exactly. Exactly.
But then okay, so back in the CD era, what was the CD that you had got that you were the most excited about?
I don't know that I ever had the opportunity to get like a CD because I had to, but I collected in LA when I had first. So I at one point I was in Koreatown a lot for one point in my life. Probably once I was like I want to say it was like right after high school, but I was in Koreatown a lot, and there was a couple of different record stores in the area that like specifically had little like CDs and cassette tapes. So I used to like go and try to find whichever CDs I could really relate to. Like at one point, I found like a Tupac "Ambitions of a Rider" cassette, and I had that, and I was like, I couldn't listen to it, but I was excited that I had it physically. You know what I mean? And then I found I found a Lauryn Hill uh, album.
Mhm.
Even crazy. I was just like me having the physical copy of that. I was like, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, and I don't know where it is now, but
I was
like
about to say where is it now?
no clue. I'm pretty sure it's probably in my storage unit, if I'm being honest. I know I
Okay.
got it. I just don't know where it
Is
is.
your storage unit in LA?
Yeah,
Are you in LA?
no.
Where are you at?
Right now, right now I'm in Maryland.
Okay. I was just wondering because I just thought you were still in LA. And then you said storage unit, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So mine was, even though you didn't ask, I'm answering.
I'm at.
My
What was it?
mom got me I told her the CDs that I wanted. and for like getting good grades at school or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I wanted the Justin Timberlake one,
That's a good one.
and then I said secondary the Akon one. With Smack
Akon.
That and all that on there.
Akon was a T-Pain before T-Pain
He
was.
had a time.
He was featured on everything. There was a point
He
where
was
Akon,
everywhere.
yeah, it's like that's T-Pain had a period where like you couldn't go anywhere without hearing him, and Akon was like that right before T-Pain. Like
Mm-hmm.
couldn't go nowhere without Akon playing on somebody's record, featured doing a hook. Like it was just like crazy.
He was working.
Hmm.
Working.
Hmm.
And then so my mom didn't like Justin Bieber. I mean not Justin Bieber. Whoo!
Not you getting it. That's a little bit racism right there. That's all that is.
No, it's not. One is black and one is white.
Oh, I thought you was getting.
Anyway.
I thought you got him confused. with Justin Timberlake.
No, I did, but Justin Timberlake is white and Justin Bieber is black. Anyway.
Bugatti B. Bugatti Bieber is black.
Mm.
Justin Bieber, that's a different person. You're getting them mixed up. You crossing with
Anyway, I would never disrespect Bugatti Bieber like that.
Shout out Bugatti
So,
Biebs. Shout out Bugatti Biebs.
really, always shout out to him. Always. Always prayers for him and his family, his wife, his child. Prayers. Always. Anyway, my mom didn't like Justin Timberlake because of what he did to Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl.
Reasonable.
So she didn't give me that, and she got me the Akon one, even though Akon was talking about smack that all on the floor. She just refused. She was like, nope.
It's reasonable. I get it. I'm not mad at her.
So I got the Akon one, and that was the one I was excited about. That was like the one where I was like, oh, this was a treat. I got the Akon CD. It had explicit written on there, and I was like,
You was looking good. I know that's right.
I'm bad. But yeah, it was good. It was good. That was what I was excited about. I don't know. That just made me think of like nostalgia and all that.
Hmm.
So you know how like we got TikTok and we have all the other things.
We got that.
Do you think it's a good thing that artists like Olivia Rodrigo are like can be discovered and over the course of a night their whole life changes and now they're the biggest star out there?
I mean, any opportunity for an artist to be discovered without needing, like, a label or somebody like that to put them out there fully is beautiful. But the problem is, a lot of virality is orchestrated. Like, a lot of times, like, not to say that we don't have a lot of people who genuinely do blow up on TikTok if they're on the court, because there's plenty. But there's a lot of artists where, like, they were kind of already signed to a deal and you just didn't know and it wasn't a public thing. And that's why they had, like, so many people doing their little dance or so many people using their sound in whatever way. Or that's why they had creators come up with something to do to the song. Because, like, how else did all these creators just magically come up with a routine to dance to the song to and it blow up? Like who really decided that was the dance and then everybody just took off with that dance? And
So are those examples that you're talking about like industry plants?
I mean, it depends on how you define industry plant. If you define industry plant just by someone who's already backed by a label, sure. But to me, an industry plant is more so like someone who gets developed fully by industry executives and labels to be engineered and geared for the industry. Like Giveon and how he went through, the Grammy Academy and all of that. Like he was engineered from top to bottom to be ready for, consumption by mass media. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to blow up because you got a deal a year ago and now they setting you up and everything like that. Cool. And another thing for like, you've been in the industry since you were 12 and now you're getting geared. I hate to say it, but even Lotto, she's been in the industry since she was like 10. She was on when she was like 12 or something. She was on a reality show about making it in the industry. I forget what it was called.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like she's been on that route for a long while. Like there was no way she wasn't going to be who she is now.
But is that a plant?
I think that's more of a plant than what people think a plant is. Like people think of a plant, they're like, oh, 6ix9ine. People think of a plant, they're like, oh, Ice Spice because she just popped up out of nowhere. But like, Ice Spice someone who got discovered by whatever the right people and got put in a place to blow up? Is she like being pushed? Sure, but a plant has a lot more training, depth, and time to them by the time we first meet them. A plant is someone that we first meet them and we like, damn, how are they so perfect? How do they have this and they have that and they know what to say here and they know like flavor that a
Mm,
plant has is very different. So it's like when people say plant, they use it too umbrella like. You know, like there's not everybody's a plant. Some artists are supported and have depth, but they're not plants. You know,
so when Nicki Minaj be saying that Cardi B is a plant,
by that, I mean she's using the generic term herself too because
okay.
Cardi isn't a plant either in my mind. She's someone who like her path is a little bit. It's like half organic, half like, and she also was willing to do what she had to get where she needed to get to too. So like you gotta give her props for like knowing who to talk to and who to do what with and all of that to get where she had to get to. But yeah, it's a little bit different, I think.
I agree. I feel like I don't know if I talk about this on the podcast a lot, but I'm a Cardi stan. So I'm like, I don't think that she's a plant. I understand that she be having these kids, but
Problem out.
like I'm not saying that she's a perfect woman. She can do things that are not great, but
Problem out.
she not no plant. And I like you said, it's like you gotta respect how she got to where she got and still has been able to stay relevant without releasing a lot of music.
Yeah, I mean she came up off of Love and Hip Hop too. Well, she went from the strip club to Love and Hip Hop personality and all of that to like pushing her music out the way she did. So it's like, and then even then going into different movies and other stuff that she's done and all that. So like she was very gifted at knowing how to create a lane and then pivot where she had to. So props to her. I don't got nothing bad to say about Miss Cardi. Shouts out to Cardi.
Shout out to Cardi B.
Pop 'em out.
Shout out to the Pats. They going to the Super Bowl. I'm only saying that because it's Cardi B, the wag. I'm not a Patriots fan, but I'm a Cardi B fan. And if her man is in there, that means that I'm in there.
I respect it.
I'm not a fan, though. Like, I'm not about to be posting the Patriots on my story or nothing.
I would hope not.
But yeah, no, not as an Eagles fan. That would be disrespectful of me to be doing. That would be disrespectful of me. This dog, I'm pausing because this dog is pissing me the fuck off. And he's doing it because he wants to fucking grab a toy. He makes people's lives harder. People have to edit this shit out. And then now he just went and got it himself. Like, this is the thing. He could have been did that. And then he's doing it to hand it to me to drop it on the ground again. I'm going to give him a little thingy thing and then see how long that fucking lasts him. Because you're pissing me off.
Jenny Craig and Raw Foods on a heavy step. Rappers turning turkey over beef. Doing everything I eat for me. Really the deal's better. They keep it real to a letter. The pride being the deal's better. Pushing moves just broken to me. Got a step across me, now it's coached to me. I myself defied not alone in the world. I'm taking on a watch, just moving slow. Everybody taking shots, they look like photos to me. Going up underneath pictures like the ocean to me. Summer's over to me, and walks over to me. She said to make it rain tonight. I got a school release. She wanted to catch a storm.
You better fucking behave.
Everything that I met was like a poet to me. 22, the boy became a
Okay. So, okay, yeah, shout out Cardi B, shout out her man, and his 3 kids that he just had. I hope they're all doing well. Now we talked about the industry plants. You talked about who you think is a plant. Cardi is not a plant.
Nah.
Now we talked about the whole like how people come up overnight. Woo woo but is it really overnight? Now, who do you think is the most overrated rapper right now?
Overrated. 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 Let me look at my Apple Music. I need to see who are the artists being talked about right now. Who's overrated? Let's see. We got no. Overrated rappers. We talking just rappers, right? Actually, I got an answer.
Give me.
Lil Baby.
Yeah,
Lil Baby's definitely overrated.
but I feel like people have caught on.
I think so.
People have caught on.
Lil Baby had a time, and that's about it. I also think who else overrated? I think this person is a great rapper and an excellent performer. Like emphasis on excellent performer. But I think they're overrated as a rapper, not an artist. Just as a rapper solely and surely. Doja Cat.
And you took your time saying that because you knew.
See, I love Doja Cat's music, top notch. Her performance, next level. But her lyrical pen, when we talking about like rapping, it's okay. Like if you really listen to her lyrics, like they're not nothing crazy at all.
I was going to say, oh, that's the white lady in her. But then I was like, now that led me to another question. Like, do you think white ladies could be really good rappers?
Of course. Technically speaking, I think anybody from any race can be a good rapper.
So who's a good white lady rapper? That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
You said you could. You didn't say are there good white women rappers. You said could there. I said there could be. Sure.
Like, so Iggy Azalea don't. It's like, no, let me stop playing. Now I'm bullying people. All right. Now, I'm done bullying people.
For now.
No, I am. I'm about to bully you now because I'm about to ask you about your relationships. So, do you got a girlfriend?
I do not. And I don't
Why you
have
think
any-
that is?
And I don't have anyone who would be mad about hearing that either. To make that clear. You know, sometimes it'd be like, oh no, I don't got a girlfriend, but then as soon as you say that, your phone blowing up like, oh, so you don't got a girl, you know, I don't have nobody who would be hit me like that neither.
Why? Why don't you have a girlfriend?
I think I'm very cautious about relationships, specifically, and I'm picky about getting into one. It takes a lot for me to do that because I feel like I got peace by myself. So it's like now if I invite somebody else into what I got going on, that can disrupt my flow possibly. So it's like I have to see enough value in what we're building to risk potentially disrupting what I got going on. Like, you know, distractions will do you in the truest sense.
That's true. That's how the devil gets you.
Especially people that want to lecture me, frame it like they just want the best for me when they check for me.
Oh, that was the little freestyle I was about to ask for.
No, that was a bar from somebody else. I can't claim that.
So, what do you think makes it so hard for artists to have healthy, stable relationships?
Yeah, because that's a common thing. Like even when you look in modern media, it's a lot of artists where it's like they in and out relationships and They just always seem like they end up single, and if they are in a relationship, it seems either really toxic or something. I feel like most artists are inherently creative and a little bit self-destructive, but not self-destructive in a way necessarily where it's like, oh, they're always killing themselves, but self-destructive in the sense of like, to be an artist, you have to constantly kill ego and create new. Like it's the process of like death, rebirth, over and over again. So to be that as an artist, like, can be difficult. And I also feel like the place where creation comes from sits in the same place where like sexual energy comes from. So a lot of people can interpret your energy as overly sexual or flirtatious or whatever because they all coming from the same space. You know, the same. It's all that same sacral chakra energy area that you create from. That also houses all of your sexual intentions, energy, all of that. So like, if I am going out and networking or whatever, someone might receive me as flirtatious or think I'm saying this, saying that, or whatever. Mix that in with like, blurred lines between like you make content and maybe you're a love interest in a video, or maybe you're like you're in a show and you're now doing a sex scene, or maybe like you're doing like a little short series and you have things where you're like it's supposed to be this character that flirts with a lot of people or other, you know what I mean? Like it's easy for lines to get blurred in between media. We even see that now with people being influenced and thinking, oh, well, do they actually live this life they talk about in their songs? Do they be killing and robbing still or blah, blah, blah? You know what I mean? So it's like when the lines get blurred so easily, it gets hard to have a relationship because no one feels like they know truly where you're at. So it's like unless you have someone that also exists in that same plane of existence, it can be difficult for them to understand like, okay, you really do stop here or you really do this or that. And also a lot of artists don't be caring when their partners do certain things. So it's like, oh, well, how would you feel? And it's like, I wouldn't mind. You know what I mean? But it's like, what I feel about something is going to be very different than what you feel as my partner. You know what I mean? So like, if she mad that I'm going to some event, I might not be mad she's going to an event dressed a certain way or whatever, just because like I might be aware that's how that works. And I might be like, not that critical of it. You know what I mean?
Speaking of like people are wondering, do you still live that life? Have you ever lived that life? Is what's real, what's not? We didn't talk about my future husband, Future. Speaking of that, in relationships, now
Free band.
people are saying that Future should just stop because he's 42.
42.
I don't think that he needs to stop. I think that my husband needs to keep making music to support our lifestyle. And I think the last stuff that he's been releasing has been good. Why stop if it's still good music? He's sober now. He's able to still separate and he's able to still make good music because like he said on South of France, it don't matter how far you go, you still gonna find a hood motherfucker.
Well, see, the problem is I feel like people are always looking for the evolution of an artist and they always expect there to be some jump where it's like, all right, now what's your next thing? Like you talked about this for however long, now go to the next thing and talk about something else. You know what I mean? Like they want to see you grow.
But I feel like he talks about real things though, because I think saying like, I think South of France is a very real song of saying like, I've made all this money, I've done all this stuff, and I still feel this same way. Like, I feel like that's real. I feel like that is evolution. It's being in touch. And then like Lost My Dog where he's like, I still cry for you. And he don't have the sunglasses on in that video. How he always got the sunglasses on. He don't got the sunglasses on. I feel like he is. He just still, no matter how rich you get, you still gonna find a hood.
Well, what you gotta understand is people are going to always hear it how they received it. You know what I mean? Like, unless he were to do a complete resurgence differently, like people are going to still, even though he's making stuff that says whatever thing, and a lot of people aren't listening to what he's saying.
Yeah, and that's their problem. Why does my man need to stop making music? Because they don't listen.
Well, the thing is, they're not listening to what's being said, they're listening to how it's being said. So to them, because it's being said the same way, even if the words are different, they're like...
Okay, pause, because this fucking dog.
Wow.
Yippee yo, yippee yay. He's trying to get this ball that he fucking dropped over there. And okay, go ahead. So so Future, why should my husband have to stop making music because other people don't listen?
He shouldn't. I mean, honestly, people are still gonna listen to Future because it's Future. You know what I mean? Like, it's not gonna stop nothing for real, for real. It's just, I feel like the main people who complain about it don't listen to him to begin with. Like, how are you gonna complain about the music that an artist makes and you never listen to that artist outside of a couple hits anyway? He don't make music for you, so like that's fine. You know, like every artist doesn't have to be this all-encompassing artist that makes 50 different genres. And then even when they do try to change, like you get like a Lil Wayne situation. Lil Wayne did Rebirth and came back doing rock music and all that, and people hated it. So it's like people don't know what they want until they get it.
Yeah, and people should just, to me, I feel like you should stick to what's authentic to you, what you feel like doing, what you want to do. And my husband, he's doing what he wants to do. And I think that people saying just because he's 42, he needs to stop making music is wrong. Because also, it's like now is the time where, first of all, 40 is the new 30, number one. The people ain't telling, I mean, I guess they are, but like, Kim Kardashian still putting her booty cheeks online. So she can still put her booty cheeks online. Why can't he fucking still rap?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. What we have with social media and how people interact with stuff is a microcosm of the effects of social media. People would rather pour into what they don't want than pour into what they do want. Even down to their feeds, when people complain about what's on their feed, like, you created that. You know what I mean? So, like, that's part of that. It's like people would rather complain this artist doesn't make this or they don't make that or whatever. And it's like, okay, that cannot be for you. That's fine. Well, why are you even commenting on a post about Future if that's not what you listen to and you don't like it? So, like, just comment on it, you know? So
I just want him to know, like, if he need me to fight some people, I will do that, both in the comments and in person.
She may really do it, yo.
No, I'm serious. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. And this is right around the time where, so back into relationships, it's like, I feel like because y'all need other creatives, and I consider myself a creative, even though I don't make no music, I'm a creative. So it's like, he could be with me because I understand, like, you have different personas, different egos, and I understand, I get his music. I get it. So we could go together. And I also think he's at a prime age. He's ready to settle down probably. He's got a football team of kids. He don't need no more of those. He's ready to settle down. I feel like that's what tricks eventually have to settle down. Yes, they do. He does. He needs one woman to trick on. And my question to you was going to be, would you settle down if it was the right girl?
Yeah, I would.
Before 42.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not afraid of it, but it's like I feel like I'm picky as I don't know what when it comes to it. Like, you know, I feel like, especially because like you need a certain, as an artist, you fragile a little bit. Like you the fragile, sturdiest person in the room at all times because your ego can be shattered so easily if you don't have the right support. If you feel like someone don't believe, like your ego can be shattered so easily. But when you on your high, like when you really confident, like it's like nobody can stand in front of you. You know what I mean? So you gotta be with the right person who can balance you out and who can really support you in the right way. And again, like you said, it probably has to be a creative. But that's hard to find. And you know, like let me describe what I want here. See if
okay, yeah. Tell the girls now.
We might find somebody in the comments.
Let's write this shit down. All right, I'm ready.
She might be from the South, probably. I feel like hospitality might go a long way.
Getting that down.
You know, within the diaspora, you know, preferably. So, you know, black, or at least, you know, with black within, you know what I mean? Like they have to, so it got to be in there, you know. Fit. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? If I'm staying in shape, I need you to get with me, you know? And then, you know, just open-minded. You gotta be open-minded to be with an artist, but ideally a creative. You know what? A dancer. Not like King of Diamonds dancer. More like You know,
I knew what you meant.
choreography dancer type. Yeah, like something like that. hmm hmm We could do that.
No, that's not what I thought you meant. I thought you meant the shaky shaky.
I mean, I'm not mad at shaky shaky, but you know, I think there's probably a little bit more alignment with the choreographer, you
Mm,
know, that trained dancer, that element. I mean, she could be both. Who knows?
okay. So those are the qualifications.
Submit your applications below in the comments.
He going to deny all of them. No, this is what he going to do. He going to be like, she don't want me. She just saying it. So I mean, what y'all could
Sometimes you gotta
try.
listen. Sometimes you got a lot of people be saying things they don't really mean. A lot of people be like, "Oh, I'm interested." No, you're not. Don't. You just want to feel like you conquested something. I'm not. What?
Mm-hmm. That's true. People do want to feel like they conquested something,
You know.
and then they get their own feelings hurt. It's unfortunate. That's the thing. Because I think people don't realize when you're dealing with someone who's an artist,
hmm
when you are trying to like win a game with that artist, if you're not an artist yourself, you're going to lose. It's not going to happen. You're not going to win that game.
Artists are fragile. We dip quick. We like artists. If they pick up on something that's wrong, it's very like fluid at times. Like it's just, and of course, every artist has their own nuances, but like it's just a lot that can come with it. It is. You gotta handle that correctly. You gotta support the right way.
And are you a trick?
For the right one, I feel like every man is a trick if the right girl know how to turn that button on. So like if he not tricking on you, then you might not know what you're doing.
If he don't buy you Dior, then he Pior. Or maybe you just a basic bitch.
That's kind of what I'm saying a little bit. So, you know, shouts out if Shorty like me or something. Like shouts out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You might have to do that, and put that music over top of that part or something.
Right. Cause literally I'm like, yeah, no, that was a bar. That was like one of the most realest bars we've had in this decade. Because what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
And
like I feel like 9 times out of 10, there's a difference between your energy just making someone want to provide a certain type of thing for you if they have it in their power, versus like you just flat out like nowadays a lot of women they don't even know how to go about it. They just straight up ask, be like, give me $500. Back in the day, y'all used to do a little bit of like a little flattery, a little hand on the
I was
cheek.
gonna say you
Like
do.
you gotta massage it a little bit. Y'all don't even like the basic.
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be controversial and doesn't have to do with being an artist, but I feel like the artistry of being a woman is dead.
Yeah, like a lot of like y'all supposed to make us think that we doing it because we want to, but whole time you orchestrated it from top to bottom. Like even down to like getting a girl's number. You know how many times a girl will make eye contact with a guy and do certain off the right things to make him come over and do something. And the whole time he think, oh yeah, I orchestrated all this. When she already knew how she was gonna, she knew the moment when she walked in who she was gonna have come up to her, whose number she was gonna get. She knew exactly how everything was gonna go.
Don't be telling them my secrets.
Where's that energy now? Because they don't be doing that no more. Now
They
they
don't.
now they either sit there and just wait for you to approach, and there's not really much to it, and then they don't have much to talk about or say, or you end up in situations where it's just like, yeah, can you pay this light bill? Can you pay my car note? Can you pay my rent? Can you give me $500, $250? Da, da, da,
And
da.
it's like the thing is, he would have did that if you had some type of.
If you carried it the right, you got it. Like you
Yeah.
got no finesse. You just what you doing? You supposed to be the
You can't give it to him dry like that. Gotta get that shit wet.
You think Catwoman just walk up and be like, "Give me"? No, she do a little.
Yeah.
She confuse him, and then while he confused, she get what she want and she did. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
grab that head and leave.
I'm gonna let him have his see fit.
That's how you do it.
I feel like I'm thinking about if I want to put him in a playpen. Okay. Yep, that's where you're going. He jumped himself in there on his own. So, settle. What I was saying was, yeah, women don't be doing that. But I think it's because it's social media. That sound like you said so old to say, but I feel like it's because of social media. Because
Yeah.
people are learning things from social media, but social media is so short form. So if I be like, yeah, and if you dealing with that man, he should be paying for this, he should be paying for that, he should be paying for that. You're hearing it in a short form, but you're not hearing all the other things that I may have done to secure that. Because I'm not saying, oh, he should be doing that, so you go ask him.
I got something for this. I got you. I got you. What happened was the commercialization of sex workers. People saw the lifestyle of sex workers. They saw the things workers were saying and talking about in terms of how they treat men, how men should treat them, blah blah blah, down the line. But again, the problem is these sex workers didn't call themselves sex workers. They called themselves rappers. They called themselves models. They called themselves all types of different names. When the whole time the way they actually afforded their lifestyle wasn't through their craft. It was through, you know, the work of, and sex work doesn't always mean you're just having sex too. You know, like sex work means everything within that umbrella itself. So even if you're just like dancing or something like that, but you don't do anything, it's still considered sex work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like an escort doesn't have to be having sex with a man. She just has to be, you know, in the line of escorting. So a lot of women in some of these in industries, in this industry of, you know, music and entertainment, all of that, a lot of women are actually escorts, or they're actually like, you know, sex workers, just generally speaking, in some way, shape, or form, in some tier of it, and they're living this lifestyle completely different, that's bereft of what you're living, and now your expectations of men you're meeting on a day-to-day basis are built off of what women are doing in a completely different space, that also, and you're not hearing, like your point, the things they're doing behind closed doors that aren't out in the public, that they've done and are willing to do, that you might not want to do. You know what I mean? The same for
Mm-hmm.
men who, you know, want a certain type of woman but don't want to afford it. Like, some of that comes with the type of woman you want. Like, generally speaking, you have to provide for a woman if you're with her. That's just point blank period. So then the amount that you have to provide depends on what she desires. Like, some women are designer down. You're gonna have to afford that lifestyle, my boy. That's just how that works.
And being a woman too is so expensive, and you have to supplement that. Like, we gotta get our hair done, our nails done,
Hair is like 500 at least. Bare minimum.
brows. Like, I don't get my brows waxed. I don't have no eyebrow. But like, ideally, if I had me my husband that he just hasn't met me yet, future, I would be getting my eyebrows tinted. That costs like all these things. Teeth whitens. Like, I'm not like, if you don't have veneers. I mean, even if you have veneers, you have to get them whitened every once in a while. All that, like,
Yeah,
this is expensive.
hair is like 500 or 600. Nails is like 200, 300. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just that. That's not even
Whose
including.
nails is 200, 300?
Why is that too low? Too low?
No, that's high.
No, yeah, it's about 200, 300. Yeah, it's about 200, 300.
You like the girls with the claws. Now I know what you like. Now I found out what you like.
That's not.
You done told on yourself.
It's not even that.
Oh,
You know,
write that down on the list, y'all. Any final words you want to say to the peoples? Jerrelle from LA.
um, I feel like if you are because it's a season right now near Valentine's. If you're somebody who's
Ooh.
lost love, looking for love, or in the process of exploring love, it requires patience, monetary capacity, and willingness for growth. A lot of people are suffering when it comes to the love aspect right now because they have egos that don't align with their direction. So, to all those of you who are out there doing their thing right now, whatever, like there are phases to life, love, and everything in between. Y'all gotta, like tap in a little bit. And if you need help and guidance figuring that out, you can always just listen to my music to give you a little therapy session to get through that. Because you don't gotta make the mistakes I've already made. Why would you do that? I've already made them. Just go ahead and listen.
You sound like you be talking a girl through it.
I tried to.
Oh, all right. I guess we gotta listen to the music and find out.
You gotta
Thank
be
you for
gentle.
coming.
Gentle yet firm. That's all. Discipline and all that.
This we need to get off this thing. You saying too much on on these people's social medias.
Tell them to get in the comments.
Okay. I appreciate you for coming.
I appreciate you.
No pun intended on that.
I'm crying.
Okay.
Hey.